When I was communicating with the gods, they used different words from different languages, and it made the Tower of Babel story make sense where God separated the language so that we couldn't communicate together. But I believe that the language that we all speak, or the different languages used, make one language, and that is God's language. The angels are five-dimensional beings, so they're very different from us, and you have to look at them in a different way to see them. If you look at them directly, they look like fractals. But if you look at them out of the corner of your eye, or in your peripheral vision, they may look humanoid. Angels are very tall, so when you're trying to see them, make sure you look up, and make sure you're not looking through them. When you look through them, they're invisible. You have to look at the wall, but bring your attention back in between you and the wall, and look at the space in front of you, as if you were looking at a two-dimensional picture that you were trying to see in 3 dimensions. So you look far away, but you bring your attention to the middle. And my advice is to look 30 centimeters before the wall, not at the wall. The same as when you're outside, you look at the sky. I look through the sky, or in the middle ground for the magical beings. Angels can be very colorful, and I found that when I was looking through devices that used mirrors to amplify your vision, like microscopes, binoculars, or kaleidoscopes, that I would see them literally standing in front of me like they were really there. Reflections of reflections to the 3rd or 4th power, and I would look in a mirror at a reflection and study it for anomalies. I found them mostly in reflections. They would try and stop me from looking at things and stand in front of my binoculars. And once they ruffled their feathers in my face, and it really scared me. I was terrified and didn't sleep for days. I could see colors, like a crystal prism rainbow of colors in frame-by-frame images. It was just visible to me, and they stood in a circle around me, and they vibrated it up, trying to vibrate me up. I got very sick. I wanted to vomit, and I got diarrhea and went to the bathroom on myself. So that's why I tell people to fast. I noticed that when I watched TV, the magical beings would disappear, and if I turned the TV off, they would reappear after 3 days. I also noticed that if I ate fast food like McDonald's or packet foods with artificial flavor enhancers and mystery meats, they would get weaker and I wouldn't be able to see them as well. I feel like the food has some kind of additive in it that is affecting our pineal gland and our ability to see the magical beings. The TV, I think, is literally on the same frequency as the magical beings, and it cancels out our ability to see them. Because like signals cancel out like signals. I saw Archangel Michael and he was running around fighting demons, but I didn't really see any other angels except for the ones that were around me, and they wouldn't tell me if they were good or evil. And I couldn't figure out what they were at first, so I wasn't going to go to their dimension with them. I started watching TV, eating junk food, drinking tap water, and I stopped studying, which stopped the effect that they were having on me. So if you want to stop the spiritual awakening, that is how you do it. Go and watch TV, get a McDonald's burger, drink a big cup of soft drink, brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste, and watch a movie. And get involved with the story. So your brain goes back to sleep. If you want to enhance it, fast. Drink filtered water and eat food that you cook from scratch by yourself out of whole foods. No TV, no radio. You need to study on your phone until your vision splits. Stay up for days at a time, and your eyes become tired and your vision will split, and you're able to see the magical beings better. You need to look at where they are instead of through them. And I used my phone to take videos, which I took under certain conditions. Zoomed all the way in at nighttime while I was moving my camera, and then put the videos in slow motion, and you look at each video frame by frame, and I caught a lot of entities in my pictures. But my phone was hacked by the entities, and they would delete my pictures every single night. Any good ones would be gone. So don't think you're going to have photographs of this spiritual awakening, and don't think you're going to remember very well. I urge you all to keep a diary about the weird happenings. The other advice I have is always have a secondary person to verify what you're seeing, and try not to make stuff up. It's very easy to get caught up in what other people tell you is real. Only believe what you can physically test. But believe what you feel, and also anything you can't prove is wrong as well. The angels started communicating with me through words I could see. If I went to a bookstore, if I was looking at the spines of all the books, I'd ask a question and I'd look, and the words that I would see first would make the answer that I needed. It's a form of bibliomancy they use. So you can literally ask a question and open a book. If you ask a spiritual question, open a spiritual book. If you ask a medical question, ask the medical book. So you get the right answer, and the first answer you look at, or the first answer you point to, should be your answer. I use a form of bibliomancy by choosing the cards that I use. That's why I have so many decks, because I'm using bibliomancy. The angels use words that no longer exist, like very old words. And the one word that they kept saying to me, and I had to work out what it meant, and I literally had to ask Satan because it was such an old word that it doesn't exist anymore. The word essa. I was told that esse means judgment, and the angels tell me, you are in judgment right now, we are doing judgment. So don't think you're going to die, and then go to judgment, and then go to heaven. We may have already died. We may be in a coma. I just know that we are sleeping. I have to wake us. The angels communicate in a very funny way. They are actually very funny. They have this wicked sense of humor. They put blocks in your way when they don't want you to do something. It's then that they make you forget your keys, lock keys in the car, forget jumpers and phones, stop your car from starting. They might make you run out of milk, so you have to go out to the shops. They made me lose my passport, and they gave it back to me when I canceled it. And the reason they did that was because they didn't want me to go anywhere. Because I was just about to flee, because I thought the end of the world was happening, because Satan was around me and other people could see him. You have to be very careful what you do and say, because the symbology is strong in everything, and the angels use this to talk to us. They might show us visions, and they might show you a vision with your dog in it from childhood, and you think you're just remembering something. But the angels might be saying something about loyalty, because dogs mean loyalty, and they could be meaning you need to find friends. Or they could be saying, remember the person that you were when you were that age, because they're trying to teach us, coach us. We are trying to complete some sort of mission, and we are failing. We are reincarnating over and over again, trying to learn this lesson. And I feel like once we get out of this machine, that we will be back in our eternal bodies. Because it's never made sense to me to have an eternal soul but a body that dies in 5 seconds for basic reasons. My God is not stupid. Something's not right. Just like when you go to sleep at night and you dream and it's very realistic. Sometimes you can feel things, taste things like they're really there. That's exactly what's happening now. The angels are trying to communicate through that using angel numbers like 111, 1111, 911, ISSI, any repetitions of numbers or letters that you see on clocks, license plates, addresses, or anywhere we use numbers or letters. If you start seeing repetitious words, like you might see someone's name, there's a message. Maybe that person needs you. Maybe you're supposed to contact them. Or maybe they're going to contact you soon. Maybe there's unfinished business. Or maybe something needs to be said. When the angels don't want you to do something, they make it hard. They make you waste time. They make you get all the red lights. They make you miss appointments. And when they want you to do something, they make it easy. You get all the green lights. You don't have to try so hard. It takes little time or effort, and you finish the job before you even know it. If you start to use the number 3 because I was told by the fairies that 3 is a magical number here, and I already know that Nikola Tesla has this 369 theory. 3 represents the matrix, 6 is enlightenment, and 9 is God. Now, please go on and look into Tesla's 369 theory for yourself and do the research. Doing the sovereignty puzzle, I found that we have been declared many things we are not: dead at sea by the king, a minor by the courts, and insane from the medical profession. And it's our job to prove we are not these things. I worked out that when you opened your third eye, and you could see the magical beings, you were no longer insane. The problem was proving that because everyone else is insane. Your doctor's job is to keep you insane by medicating you, so you can't see it again, and to dock your vassal, baby, at birth to enslave it, and put it out to the sea of life so they can declare you dead at sea later. And you are the only sane one when you can see the magical beings. But because the world is a majority-based program, where majority rules, the majority say that insanity is sane, and they say sanity is insane. I'm not actually sure how to get around that with this straw man issue because it's really hard to prove when the majority are being insane. I hope now that you start listening to the angel communications, stop looking at the clock, and let the angels guide you. When you do things, don't go and shop on a Tuesday at 6 o'clock. I want you to go shopping when you run out of food, when you need things. Still budget, if you can, by putting aside the same amount you usually spend for food. But don't count your money and don't plan. Just get up and let what happens happen, like you might get a bill in the mail, so pay it. You might have a friend call up and say, I want to come over, so let them if you're free. Or say you're busy, and read a book. I've got spiritual awakening manuals, crystal manuals, and other spiritual manuals you can download free. You just can't distribute or sell them. The copy is yours alone. I'm doing videos for everything as an introduction. Did anyone manage to watch this video to the end? If you did, I'm going to give you one last tip and exercise. Now, first I want you to lay down outside in the shade, and I want you to look at the clear blue sky. I want you to look through the sky until you can see the light bugs moving everywhere. I want you to have a look between you and this sky, without moving your vision from looking through the sky, but pulling your attention back to between you and this sky. And I want you to look around and see if you can see anything invisible, like dots or squiggly lines on something invisible. At first, I thought it was an invisible shield, but now I think it's my third eye's eyelid. Someone asked me, how do you know that your third eye is open? And I was told when you shut your eyes, you can see colors, which is one of the ways you can tell. The way that I could tell was I started seeing eyes everywhere. Hundreds and hundreds of eyes in pictures. In the distance, in bushes, everywhere, pareidolia. You see them first. I saw eyes first, and then slowly they come into focus, the entities themselves. That's the first thing I noticed that told me that my third eye was opening. But the other thing I noticed was the invisible shield disappeared. So I believe this is your third eye eyelid. So go and look at the sky. Then pull your vision back in between you and the sky and see if you can see your invisible shield or your third eye eyelid. And that's a good way of telling if you're awake or not. But remember, you will need to fast for a few days. Stop watching TV and drink only filtered water for 3 days to see it. Well, I hope tips on the angel communications helped. and some of my adventures when I was doing my awakening, which lasted around 3 years straight. It was a very confusing time. I'm still confused about it. Light and love, everyone. If you have any questions, need help, or want to reach out and chat, I want you to know that's what I'm here for. My name is Apple Luna, and I'm the bringer of truth. Reach out to me, I've been calling you. Thank you. I hope this video wasn't too long.